Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And thank you, thank you, thank you. It's kind of funny, man. We've been doing so many live streams, and I love it. I love doing live streams. I like coming on. I like just talking about crypto with people who are at least moderately receptive to it. And the weekends off are weird. They're weird for me. I don't know what to do. So we're gonna try something this week, and I'm kind of kicking it off today. So we're gonna see how it goes. Uh, if you watched the last live stream that we did, I made the analogy of swords into plowshares. So when the market goes bearish, really bearish, when it gets rough, I am a swords into plowshares kind of guy. I will go into pure yield farming mode because people always got to eat. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how that works out? People always got to eat, so you're always going to need farmers. And it's during that time that the market it's most advantageous to me financially just to go into pure yield farming. Things are starting to lighten up. They're starting to break up just a little bit. So some of my farms are just going to go fallow, and we're turning those plowshares back into swords. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple of the things that I'm pushing into. There, it's on the thumbnail. I mean, you can see it right there. But I want to give you some context and why, and then we're gonna spend the next week of live streams just taking them apart and showing you some of the other plowshares into swords that I'm getting into, and I want to continue to give you context to why. So let's just start breaking this apart a little bit. So one of my big ones, and this was definitely this is kind of an interesting one because it's both a plowshare and a sword, and it worked out real well for me. So I've been pushed into BCNA for ever since June. I've kind of been moving into that one because the APR is really good. I know the product, I know the project, I know what it runs with, and I can explain that number right there. I think it's very important to your long term success as a crypto investor if you can explain the gains. In this case, I can. I've done videos on it, and I understand that they're not very exciting projects. But when the market starts to turn, these are the projects that I'm looking for specifically. I will get my largest gains out of small to mid cap tokens. Those are the ones that I'm looking for. My sweet spot's about $50 million. So something that has some legs, that's a reasonable project, and a market cap of approximately anywhere from $40 to $60 million, 50 million being the sweet spot. When the market really turns, those are where I'm going to get the greatest percentages. That's where I'm going to start to hit it. And we go more or less into headhunting mode at that time. But to be able to take full advantage of it, you have to be positioned before it starts to turn. So the whole farming thing that I do is to get me capital, to get me into these small and mid cap tokens where I want to be. And it's important for me that I be there early. And BCNA is a very good example of getting in there a little bit early. Our first video, and you can look it up because it's not like it's time date stamp. There it is. But we were buying into this thing at about .009. So to say that it's been wildly successful would be an understatement, but it is a perfect example of just being in early, being in first, finding the projects, looking for the markets, analyzing them, picking them apart, deciding, am I going to be profitable in this thing 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now? It worked out. Yay for me. I'm just super smart. I I'm just super smart. I'm not. All I do is all I can do. It's kind of been working out for me over a period of time. Is that I can assign very good intrinsic valuations to my investments. This one hit every single wicket. It worked out. Yay for me. But a couple other ones that are really jazzing me up right now, and that I'm going to continue to push into because these things are going to be big gainers for me. New kind of network. This is another one. It's the market cap on this is just ideal for me. I mean, it is really where I want it to be. And the nifty thing about NKN, even though I know it really doesn't get the press anymore. The nifty thing about this particular one is that it's a product that I actually use, and I've been using it for a long, long time. See that little icon right there? See that one right there? See, this is N Mobile, and if you pop this up, there it is. Very exciting, and I've been using this for a really, really long time. Anybody who's curious about this one, send me an email, and I will send you my N Mobile wallet address, and that's direct communication. I can't promise I'm going to answer every damn one of them, but it's one of the big products on NKN that I've used just for a long, long time. It is an absolutely secure text chat. I like that. I love privacy. Huge fan, huge fan. But it's not so much the products on this one, even though I think that they're doing a really neat thing. Development is more or less stalled. It's not really going to pick up. It's not really going. I don't really see any big out for this one. But what I do see is a chart that I just absolutely adore. So I've held NKN for a long time. I don't talk about it too much because I'm a Cosmos guy. But when you look at this thing over 180 days, it's just not exciting. All right, look nice and flat, and it's kind of tough to earn with this one. And if you look at it over a year, it's pretty much running with the rest of crypto. And if you look at it over max, I like max on these ones because this thing has been around forever. I mean, this has been a long, long product. This thing has been in development forever. Uh, it perfectly ran through all of our, runaway pumps, hypes, all that other stuff. I don't care about that. The all-time highs are meaningless to me because very few tokens have ever re-achieved their all-time high. So it's not even a factor for me. But I ran it all the way through in June here, and I happened to catch that right there. So when you're inching into products like these, and it really is not your own money. There is no particular direct cost to you because you're using yields to buy it. Then this is just pure white meat. I mean, that's all that is just pure profit. So Scott's very, very happy. It's not actually something that I would recommend because I don't make recommendations, but I'm telling you flat out, I'm in it. Been in it for a long, long time, and it's the little ones like this that are going to absolutely just rock it for me next year. So I'm slowly pushing into them. Not big. I don't want to move numbers. I don't want to move needles. I don't want to do any of that stuff. But even 500 a week, 1,000 a week doesn't really kill me. It's hits again all of my wickets. It is the small to mid cap token that I'm always looking for because I'm going to get my best gains out of these. Now the other one that I'm pushing into, and I'm going to be going bigger into this one because always been a big fan is been fetch. This is just our everyone sentiment pump. I don't really put a lot of value into that, but what I do like about this one is looking at it over the last 90 days and the last 180 days. I love this. I love these kind of flat little lines right here because as a yield farmer, and growing my crops, harvesting them and selling them and putting them to work, I'm looking for flat. That is right in my sweet spot, is looking for these nice flat lines like this. And again, look at the market cap. All right, these are what I am looking for. This is what I want to get into because people in this case, it's a very, very passionate community. They're very active on Twitter. They are working on a lot of things. Got a DEX coming out. They have their social media platform coming out. AI, it's not like development has stopped in AI, but these are the really, really good ones, and that end up working out really, really well for me because a rising tide raises all boats. And these small to mid market cap tokens will rise up really, really well by percentage. It's all I care about. Not raw numbers. It's not going to hit its all-time high. I don't see it. But by percentage, it is more profitable for me to be in the small and mid cap tokens just directly, regardless of the stake that I can get for them. It is more profitable for me to get in here than it is to continue yield farming by a percentage. So this is where I'm pushing into. So we're going to dedicate next week, and I'm going to show you and talk about and blow up all of the other small to mid cap tokens that I'm pushing into, not because I think you should, but because I do. And again, it's very disingenuous to talk about a token that you don't own. I always thought it was madness. And then I got into YouTube and I realized, well, hell, most of these guys, what they do, they'll tell you when to buy and what to buy, but you'll never see them buy. Yeah, I mean, it's a game, guys. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, that's I thought this would be a nice preamble for what we're going to be getting into next week. We're going to be breaking it up, a lot more products, a lot of other stuff that Scott is into, because all we do is talk about what I'm into. And I'm going to continue to give you context on each and every one of the tokens. If you see something that I don't see, Scott at thepodcast.com. It's right there. Or comments below. I always like to read my comments because I get some, boy, there's some anger in there. Fun about doing YouTube, man. That's all we got, guys. Until next time, please stay safe. Oh, and yeah, if you do want to talk to me on NKN, send me an email. I'll send you my address. So that's all we got. Till next time, please stay safe. Please be smart with your money. Cheers.